You know, it's interesting. The next thing on our list to stay away from is going to be our aspartame products, soda products.
Oh, wow.
And let me read you this.
We could do
quick.
a whole show on that, too.
I'm not going to put this on the screen, but I'm going to hold this up for you. This is a windshield washer solvent. I'm not promoting this product. It's called Super Solvent. And it's interesting because this tells us an old package. And let me read this. It says, contains methyl alcohol. That's what it says right here on the back. It says, contains methyl alcohol, cannot be made non-poisonous. Cannot be made non-poisonous.
So what does that have to do with?
With aspartame.
With aspartame.
Okay. 10% of the molecular structure of aspartame is methanol, which is a neurological poison that cannot be made non-poisonous.
Like super solvent.
Like super solvent,
Oh,
right?
man.
And so I can't believe people are actually using that product. And see, I'll never forget a lady came up to me, and I had mentioned this a few minutes ago when we were talking, she said, I'm not going to listen to you. I'll drink my diet soda if I want to drink my diet soda.
Oh, when you were speaking at this seminar.
I think we had 18,000 people there that day. And what was interesting is I told her, I said, that's okay. If you don't want to listen to me, don't. And she was so shocked. Because I figure if I tell them that a product has 10% paint thinner in it, methanol, and they want to continue to drink it, I'm just going to go ahead and go on with my life and let them drink their paint thinner because I can't stop that.
But on the other hand, how many people have come up to you and said, I've gotten off the aspartame, my memory's better?
That's right.
I have clarity of thought. It's amazing how your body changes.
It's interesting because I have another letter here. I won't have time to read it. But the lady was feeling absolutely horrible, and she heard me on another TV talk show talking about diet sodas, and she said she felt the Lord was speaking to her, and she said, you told us that we can't drink diet sodas, how unbelievably bad they are, that has to be a choice that we personally make, and I listened to you, and now I feel great. She said she was having tremendous bone pain, and ended up with about 3 to 4 months after she'd gotten off the sodas that she started feeling better. Her bone stopped hurting. Let me tell you why that happens.
But
in some
cases. Children? Children are drinking it too, Ted.
I mean, by the literfuls. Here's what happens is it contains a compound in most cases called phosphoric acid, which is extremely acidic. It makes it effervescent. The problem with that is it's so acidic that it has to have something to neutralize the acidity in it. And in many cases, the body has to use calcium when your body is eating too many acidic foods to neutralize the acidity of the body. And when that happens, you start making your bones porous, and it starts dissolving the bones. I don't know of a better way to give yourself osteoporosis or receive osteoporotic fractures than drink sodas. Plus, even when you drink the ones that aren't diet, they still have all of this phosphoric acid in them.
And that's the carbonated stuff.
And they also have it's high fructose corn syrup. And high fructose corn syrup, now the studies are coming out on it finally, that it basically makes you fatter and fatter and fatter, and it makes you hungrier and hungrier and hungrier. Don't drink sodas, period.
So diet sodas don't help you lose weight.
That's right. In fact, here, let me show you something. There's a couple of reports I want to talk to you real quick about. These come along with the Maximum Health DVD series. This is very interesting. We're going to talk about this in just a second. That's why I want to talk about it, mention it to you right now. Are you poisoning yourself with the drugs added to your drinking water?
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay. Another one. Do not kill your brain. Save it with 4 action steps, 9 strategies. And we also talk about the 3 products that actually poison the brain and destroy brain cells in this article.
Is aspartame one of the ones that poison?
Absolutely. This one, the biggest medical mistake in the past 50 years. This goes into the cholesterol debacle and how they keep lowering cholesterol, but heart disease rates are really not changing much. And before, if you had a 250 cholesterol, it was considered normal. Now they want you under 200. And the sad part about it is if you go too low, disease rates go up in all categories. Plus, if you don't have high enough cholesterol and you're a guy, you can't even make testosterone in sufficient quantities. So the cholesterol debacle, as far as it causing the problems with heart disease, hydrogenated fats, trans fats, lack of exercise, other lifestyle choices are the biggest thing.
And mainly the fast foods, because
and the
they're
fast
full
foods.
of them.
And we completely debunked that whole concept in here, and we go into detail. Plus, let me give you another example. If you take cholesterol, according to the Journal of the American Medical Association, the May 2003 edition, it says if you take cholesterol-lowering medicine for 30 years, you only extend your life expectancy by 6 months. If you take high blood pressure medicine for 30 years, you live another 9 days.
But Ted, both of those 2 things you mentioned can be controlled through diet.
Absolutely. That's right. Finally,
it's easier and it's cheaper.
Next article we have is finally 2 guaranteed products that manage pain and help to rebuild joint cartilage. This one is Does Soy Turn Little Boys into Little Girls? The Shocking Truth. And this is an interesting article that I wrote. And then we'll talk about that in just a second. The other report is Natural Solutions for Depression, Anxiety, Panic Attacks, and Dementia.
That's a big problem.
That's a big problem.
Today.
And that's one of the primary problems associated with that is the omega-3 deficiencies that we talk about.
And suicides, right?
That's right, suicides. Well, a lot of the psychotic medications that people take, they have a black box warning on them telling you these medications cause you to commit suicide.
Well, we've had
people
calls.
We've had calls.
We've had calls.
But number 6 to stay away from. Now, obviously, we're almost out of time, so we're not going to be able to get through this whole entire top 10 list. If you go to the website that's on the bottom of the screen, you can go ahead and we'll be happy to give you a copy of the top 10 list at no cost. You'll have to just download it from your computer, and that way you can get the entire list along with the detailed summary of what it does. Plus, we'll give you other information on the Maximum Health DVD series when you go to the website. But number 6 on the list that we tell people never to use are soy products.
That's true.
It also includes MSG. The reason soy is so bad, it contains a estrogen compound that mimics the estrogen in the body, and the body can't tell the difference. And what it does, it feminizes men when they use soy. It can feminize little boys. It actually change brain chemistry back to behavior. In fact, I was watching Pat Robertson on the 700 Club a few weeks ago, and he actually had a study and a doctor on there that said that you actually change the electroencephalogram pattern of the brain when you take a little male boy and you put him on soy formula because of the estrogen compounds, and it actually takes that little boy's brain chemistry and turns it into the brain chemistry of a little girl.
So what do you do if you can't nurse? Do you want to just use the raw goat's milk?
You can do that, but you need to talk with your physician because raw goat's milk is a very good alternative for a lot of people. If you can't get the raw, you can use the regular goat's milk.
Stay away from the soy.
But stay away from the soy. It's so very important.
Because men don't need that much estrogen, is that
Men don't need any estrogen. It also causes a condition in men called gynecomastia. It also decreases the libido.
Gynecomastia meaning like they need...
Well, yeah, like they have breast enlargement.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And you know what's also interesting with this, it also decreases the libido or the sex drive in men.
Wow.
Which I find that fascinating.
Then they make a drug.
Then they make a drug. Then they make a drug like you know the Viagra and the Cialis, and they warn you right on the commercials that they can cause blindness and deafness.
Oh, my word.
I mean, my goodness. I mean, it wasn't bad enough to start with. Now you're blind and deaf. I mean, you know, so the reality is you don't need to be taking drugs like that.
Yeah.
There are all kinds of natural things. In fact, we have another product that's on the website. It's called HGH Stimulate. It really helps to lower blood pressure, also helps to burn body fat and cellulite. And what's interesting about this is the only side effects it has, it makes you feel better.
And I don't have time to talk about it.
We don't have time to talk about it, but it really is one of the best things you can take as far as
it's changed my life.
Well, yeah.
It has.
And in fact, we'll talk about that on the next show when we talk about how you can reverse the aging process and the 20 key steps to reversing the aging process and how you can turn the aging clock backwards. It's so very important. Now, number 7 that we talk about, this is so important. This is why we have the whole report in here on water and drugs added to the water supply, is chlorine and fluoride. I don't know how to tell you how bad these two drugs are. They're both poisons. They're bad drugs. Okay, they're bad chemicals. Okay, and I say that drugs, if I had enough time, I explain to you why they're used in drugs. Chlorine was used in chemical warfare in World War I to kill people with chlorine gas. Fluorine is a deadly poison. It's used as rat poison. Well, I always tell folks, don't use chlorine, don't use fluoride in your water supply, and don't use fluoride toothpaste. Now, I'll have a lot of dentists getting all mad at me when they watch the show, but I've got the documentation. You can look at it, and the reality is this. You don't need to put poison in your body. We always tell folks, either use a filter, use clean water, or you're going to become a filter. You're going to have to run it through your liver. You're going to have to run it through your kidneys.
We have a distiller at home, and
we've had it. The
water is so sweet. People say, "I'll drink water if it tastes like this."
And we have information on the website. Yeah. Now, also, I know we didn't get through the entire top 10 list today, and I know we're almost out of time for this show, but I want you to realize your health is your most valuable asset. Treat it accordingly. Remember, I'm 54 years old. My wife is 53 years old. We feel absolutely wonderful. We're here to help you. Send us a question. Email us a question. We'll read it on the air. We'll answer your question, and we'll let you know exactly what you can do for certain conditions. And I want to thank you again for all that you've been doing for us in supporting of our ministry. And we'll see you here at the same time next week. God bless you. Thanks for watching today.